In the disclosure, you now have an affirmative requirement that if there are any changes in the disclosure, for instance, if a person didn't put in that it floods his property and you find out that it does flood, you have an obligation to have your seller correct that. And if the seller doesn't, then you've got a very difficult situation because you're in the line of fire. You will get sued, by a buyer if you knew and they can prove it. If you have cash sales, you have to prove you have the cash. The way you prove it is you get your bank to write a letter saying that you have the cash, or you basically show them a screenshot of your bank account, or you can just agree with your seller as to what it is he'll take. NAR Buyer Broker hasn't changed. This class had a section on that, but it really hasn't changed. That requirement that you can't show a house until you have a buyer broker agreement, that's still around. The fact that you can't take more money than you have in your contract, your buyer broker contract, that's still around. The fact that you have to have a written agreement, all that's still around. It still applies. MLS, can't advertise it. Anywhere else in the world you can advertise, what your fee is, but you can't do it there. AI is everything. Treat it as the smartest individual you'll ever meet, and talk to them as if they're the dumbest individual you'll ever meet. What does that mean? That means simple questions. Ask a simple question, like it could be as simple as, I have this inspection report, I'd like you to read it, and I'd like to talk to you about it. You feed it in, and you start asking it questions. What do you think about this or that? It's, keep it simple, but you can ask it dumb questions and then just get the questions articulated. If you don't like what it's saying, ask it. I don't understand what you just said. Could you simplify? And it will. Don't overuse it, and don't use its text. Take the information it's giving you, write your own so it comes from you. That's the human thing. People can see AI or read. When they read, they know it's written by AI. Fraud. The class, and you'll find that in the materials, basically considers fraud something that might occur in your disclosure. Fraud is a response to a lie. In other words, you're basically stating that something is true and it's a lie and it's going to hurt somebody. That's fraud. Yes, can that occur in a disclosure where you fail to disclose, or you disclose something that misinforms people? That's fine. The fraud that basically affects all of us, but is really a title company issue, is identity fraud in situations where you're dealing with raw land. The identity ability now, with the internet the way it is, you can basically make somebody look exactly like, you could even make them look like the person who bought the property. But you can get all their information, Social Security, driver's license numbers, everything. You can get it and get it out there. And what the recommendation is, if you're an agent for the title company, because the title company is going to get burned if we sell someone else's property, is make sure you meet them physically. If it's somebody basically say, I can't meet you, I'm going to give you a power of attorney to close, etc., don't go with that. You've got to meet them personally. If you do a video chat like a WhatsApp or what have you, or Zoom video chat, you may not know, what the seller of that, the owner of that property looks like. So if he says he's John Doe and he gives you a driver's license, ask him questions about the locality, things like that. How long have you owned the property? Things like that. Ask him those questions.